What's going on, Detroit Lions fans and fans around the XCFL? We have a brand new season of XCFL football, and that means I'm back with a brand new Lions Den episode. So Lions fans, listen up. We're going to kind of go over what we did this offseason, who we took in the draft, anybody who we think is going to make a big impact for the team this year. We'll talk about our starting lineups. We'll go over our week one game. We don't have any highlights because this is going to be a jam-packed episode and don't want to keep you guys too long. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first episode of the season 11 of the XCFL. All right, here we go. So you can see on the slide we got up on the screen here, we got some of our top draft picks. You can see we got our 2 first-rounders that we took this year. Cornerback Spencer Frazier out of Texas. We also took Russell Felix, the right tackle out of Wisconsin. Second-round pick, you got Lawrence McCoy there from Missouri, the wide receiver. We went a little run on receivers here. With the 4th-round pick and the 5th-round pick, we took 2 receivers as well out of Southern Utah and Princeton. And then we got 3 undrafted guys up there, 2 defensive tackles in Colton Everett and Dickson Pinkney. And then we got our right outside linebacker, Leonard Ball from UMass. A lot of these guys are going to come in right off the bat week 1 and help us out. We'll kind of go into each guy here one at a time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and slide over to our first-round pick, number 9 overall, cornerback Spencer Frazier from Texas. Frazier's a 22-year-old, 6'3", 210-pound cornerback with tremendous speed. He ran the fastest 40 out of all corners at the Combine. Obviously, combine that with 6'3" and 95 jumping attribute. The guy could be a stud for us for years to come. 96 speed, 94 acceleration. The zone coverages, or the man and zone coverages are a little weak, but we kind of expected that. We kind of were just going for the freak athlete. And then, we can kind of develop the rest here. Played in the Big 12, they get a little pass happy down there going against Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. And Frazier held his own. We talked with all the coaching staff down there, and he at 6'3" was just a tremendous athlete. Blew away all the scouts at the Combine. And Spencer Frazier is going to be a great player for us. So we were really excited to be able to grab him at number 9. Like I said, he was the number 1 ranked corner on our board, and we ended up snagging him at number 9, so we were really excited about that. So we're going to move on here to right tackle Russell Felix out of Wisconsin. We're actually going to slide Russell over to the right guard position to start start his career in the XCFL. But he's a 22-year-old, 6'5", 316, played at Wisconsin. Came out early, obviously, but he's a big boy. Like I said, 6'5", 316, 91 strength. He was first in reps at the bench press out of all the tackles in the whole draft. 91 run block, we really like that. 89 impact block, and then look at the speed and acceleration for the big boy. He can move. Going to get him pulling out on some of these toss plays. He's going to do some damage. Just to know, we can still slide him to right tackle later on in his career. He will be a Detroit Lion for his entire career, no matter what. Great pick here. Probably one of the better players in the draft, superstar development, and we were able to get him all the way down at 16. It was a deep lineman in the class, which is why I think he was able to slide down, because most teams thought they could address that need at a later round. But Russell Felix is the guy we wanted. He was the number 1 ranked offensive lineman on our board, and we were able to snag him at 16, like I said. So we were really excited. He's going to start day 1 for us. So is Spencer Frazier. Both these guys are really excited. All right, so we go to our second-round pick here, which we ended up going wide receiver. We kind of shocked some people here. We went with Lawrence McCoy out of Missouri, the 21-year-old. So he's a younger guy, only spent a couple years in college. He was projected 6th-round pick, and we really liked what he did at the Combine. And as you can see, all of his Combine attributes show here. He was a little slower than we liked, but that 93 acceleration kind of makes up for it. And then look at the catching and route running as a rookie with 95 jumping, 5'10", 219. Very productive player at Missouri. Really excited for Lawrence McCoy, and he is actually going to slide right into the starting lineup too. So he'll be our number 2 receiver. Going to put him in front of Kenny Galladay. Kind of let Galladay work that slot. McCoy is going to kind of take over for Golden Tate because we cut him this offseason. So we're looking for McCoy to have a huge year across from Jarvis Landry, who we also added this offseason. So Landry, McCoy, and Galladay are going to be our 3 receivers, and McCoy is going to get his fair share of passes. Wouldn't be surprised if he catches 50, 60 balls this year. But 21-year-old from Missouri, Lawrence McCoy, 2nd-round pick. Alrighty, so now we have our 4th-round pick, and this one was kind of a surprise. So it's Ishak Douglas. Douglas was another receiver projected late, but we really like those measurables at 6'4", and then he ran a 4.4 in the 40 at the combine, so that translated to 91 speed, 91 acceleration with that 94 jump. So he's more of our jump ball receiver with great speed. Like I said, an 85 catching, and once we get that spectacular catch up, we'll be using this guy a lot more. So he had a little complicated college career. He played his first year at Oregon, played as a true freshman. Had a huge year at Oregon, but then actually got caught with a little assault charge. Ended up having to he got kicked out of Oregon. Ended up transferring to Southern Utah after that was all cleared up, and I mean just dominated at that level, which is why I think this guy slid down to the 4th round for us. But Ishak Douglas is going to be a big time player, if not this year. Look for him to sneak into the starting lineup next year. He's a little raw, but like I said, he has the attributes we need with the 91 speed, 91 acceleration, and that jumping. He'll be a big-time red zone target for us at 6'4", 236. But, yeah, so that's 2 receivers down there. Then with our 5th round pick, we actually went wide receiver again, and it's little Nate Sims from Princeton. 5'9", 170. He played 4 years at Princeton. And with his speed, he just dominated at that level. 97 speed, 96 acceleration. And you look at him and you think instantly he's a kick returner, that's it. But then you look at those catching traits. 82 catching, 76 catching traffic, 78 spectacular catch. He's not just a kick returner. He can get in the slot. He can do a little damage. So he will definitely get some playtime this year at receiver. 23 years old, a little bit older than we would have liked. But he's a smart football player. He is undersized, but he is a smart football player. Knows how to get into space and can make guys miss, and he for sure will be returning kicks for us. He actually ran one back in our preseason game. So look for Nate Sims. We're going to try to get the ball in his hands as much as possible, and Nate Sims could have a big year out of Princeton here. Okay, so now we're going to go to our 3 undrafted guys that we scooped up in free agency throughout the preseason, and the first guy is none other than Colton Everett. So Everett, much like that wide receiver Douglas out of Oregon, Everett had a little bit of trouble. He was at Alabama for 2 years. Redshirted his first year, played as a redshirt freshman. And Everett, he had a lot of off the field issues with drugs, and it just never he was never able to stop. So we talked to Coach Saban. He seemed like a real good guy. Just he needed a little direction, and he ended up transferring to Indiana State, and it really humbled him, kind of like a Cam Newton story here, where he really was humbled, realized that he needs to get his stuff together here if he wants to play at that next level. And I mean, 6'7", 300 pounds. He led all defensive linemen within the combine, or reps at the combine. So 90 strength, 88 tackle. We're gonna bump those power moves up, but then look at the speed: 78 speed, 79 acceleration. This is a big boy, and he is gonna do some damage for us. He played right end at Alabama, but we're going to slide him to D tackle because of that size and that speed. I think it'll be a nice combination. And, I mean, this was a steal. To go undrafted at this size and this ability, we were so excited when he agreed to sign that contract with us right after the draft, get him on the practice squad, then move him right to the starting lineup, really. So we're real excited for Colton Everett, and we think he is going to be a stud for us for years to come. But moving on here, we have another undrafted player, and it's Leonard Ball out of UMass. So another guy from a tiny school. He's 6'3", 237, 23-year-old outside linebacker. Good speed, 90 acceleration. So Ball's going to get right on the field at that right outside linebacker position for us, and he's gonna play right away. He had a great camp, a great preseason, and really proved that he was the best guy for the job. We had 2 veterans on the team. Ended up cutting Jamal Martin, and he's going to start over Prince Shembo. So Leonard Ball, another rookie, going to break into that starting lineup and use that speed, those finesse moves to rush the passer. We're really excited for Leonard Ball, and he was kind of a surprise to us. We didn't think he would get into the starting lineup, and then after that camp, we had no choice but to start him. And then the last prospect we'll talk about here, we have another D tackle, Dickson Pickney. He was out of Florida A&M, so another guy from a small school, 6'4", 287, very strong, 89 strength, and then that speed acceleration combo is there too. So Pickney's going to be right behind Everett at the defensive tackle position. And I think Pickney, he'll be that guy in those four. And when we go to that 4-4-3 front, that he'll be hopping in there with them. And those two rookies in there doing a little bit of damage, and that strength and the size. I'm really excited for this defensive tackle duo of 22, 23-year-olds. But so now that we talked about all our rookies, we're going to slide over here and check out our starting lineups so we can kind of see where those rookies will fit in if they do and see who we acquired this offseason. You can see the offenses right here. The offensive line looks pretty much the same. You got Decker at left tackle, Greg Robinson at left guard, TJ Lang back at that center position, high awareness. We slide in the rookie right there, Russell Felix at right guard, and then we got Ricky Wagner at right tackle. Wagner was banged up the last half of last year. We really missed him, so we were real excited to have him back to start the season. You got Ebron at tight end. That hasn't changed. Looking for a big year out of him. He was banged up to start the year last year, so hopefully we see some better stats out of him. And then Matthew Stafford, we gave him the franchise tag. We brought him back. We feel like there was a weak quarterback class, so we weren't going to trade him if we weren't going to get enough back. And we are happy with Stafford. 98 throw power, a bunch of weapons around him. We'll see what happens if he earns that long-term contract. And then Tevin Coleman, the NFC Offensive Player of the Year last year, best RB in the NFC award winner, 6'1", 210, 24 years old. Tevin Coleman almost ran for 1,400 yards last year, double-digit touchdowns, caught 4 touchdowns. We're excited. This is the bell cow of our offense, and we're just going to feed him the ball all season long, barring injury. All right, so then wide receiver here is where we had our big change. So last year we had 2,000-yard receivers in Marvin Jones and Golden Tate. I think we had 18 touchdowns between the two of them. You can obviously see both of them are gone. Kenny Golladay was our number 2 receiver last year. He slides to the wide receiver 3. He's 6'4", 213, 24 years old. We got Jarvis Landry in a trade, so he's going to be our wide receiver 1. Still only 25 years old, 5'11", 206. We traded Travis Swanson in a pick to get Landry from the Dolphins, and we were really excited to get Landry. And he's going to have a humongous season for us. He actually caught a touchdown in our Week 1 game, so we'll kind of go over that later. And then wide receiver 2, Lawrence McCoy, the rookie. We just talked about out of Missouri. He's going to fit right in there with Landry. Landry brings the speed, jump ball ability. McCoy will play underneath, and then Galladay's the big body there as well. So look at our offense. Very happy about it. Put some new pieces in. Now we're going to go over to our defense. This is where it gets a little crazy with some changes. Our defense is young. I think our average age across the board is like 22 and a half years old, 23 years old. But there's a crazy change. Our whole defensive line is different. Out with the old guys, out with Terrell Suggs, out with, we just traded Anyamata. So you got left end Carl Lawson. We got him in a trade from the Bengals this offseason. 23-year-old defensive end. Very excited for him rushing the passer on one side. Then our other end is going to be Samson and Bucam. We made a trade with the Rams to grab Bucam because we really like the speed. At 86 speed, 90 acceleration at the defensive end position. And he can play in coverage, too, if we do want to shift him outside linebacker. But we are excited for these 2 young 23-year-old pass rushers. Speed, size, strength, just perfect combos of it all. And it's going to complement Colton Everett at that defensive tackle position, the rookie out of Alabama, who's 6'7", 300 pounds, right in the middle. So our whole defensive line is 23 years old. He's young, but we got some talent. So we're very excited about the defensive line. So we'll go to the outside linebacker position. 2 new guys here. We made a trade with Jacksonville and went out and got Dante Fowler Jr., the 25-year-old outside linebacker, another skilled pass rusher. He's more of a finesse guy. Lacks coverage a little bit, so he will be mostly blitzing, kind of like a James Harrison type role. But Fowler, he'll get to the quarterback. He'll be a 10-sack guy. The other outside linebacker went over Leonard Ball, the rookie, same as Fowler, finesse pass rusher. Very excited for these guys. A good combo of youth, speed, strength. So this will be fun to watch. And then our middle linebackers. So we traded Dion Buchanan for the Colts' first-round pick in this upcoming draft. So we got 2 picks already in this upcoming draft, allowing Jared Davis, our rookie middle linebacker from last year and leading tackler, to slide in that middle linebacker 1 position. Davis was awesome for us last year, intercepting passes, forcing fumbles. He did it all. He's the heart and soul of our defense, so he's the perfect guy to fit that 3-4 middle linebacker role for us. And then our new guy, Eric Wilson. This is the only free agent we went out and signed in the offseason. He is a crazy fast little guy, 6'2", 225, only 23 years old, but he flies around with the football, and Eric Wilson is going to be an awesome combo with Jared Davis. This whole linebacking core, this front 7 is going to be fun to watch with the age, the speed, the strength, the power. It's going to be really fun to watch. I'm excited. I mean, if not this year, next year, they're just going to grow and get better and better every season. And now we get to my favorite part, which is our secondary. So we bring back Kevin King, Josh Jones, and Baker, 23, 23, and 22 years old. And then we add that first-round pick, Spencer Frazier. So you can look, both our corners are sitting there at 6'3", good size, great speed, especially to be 6'3". King, 91 speed, 93 acceleration. Josh Jones and Buda Baker back there at safety just lay lumber. Josh Jones had 4 picks last year, forced 4 fumbles. He's an absolute monster. We're getting some trade talk about him. Not sure if we're going to let him go at 6'2", 220, only 23 years old. We're going to develop him into more of a monster, and it's going to be an interesting year, an awesome secondary back here. But we got 3 rookies starting on the defense side of the ball. A lot of new faces. I'm really excited for this defense. Let's hope it translates on the field. Like I said, we do have some growing to do, but I'm excited to get that raw talent out there and see what we can do with it. All right, so we got our offense and defense down, our prospects taken care of. So let's look at our 2018-2019 Detroit Lions football schedule. So we got our first match. Week 1 will be the Patriots. We're going to take on that whole AFC East. So we got the Patriots, we got the Bills week 4, the Jets week 6, and then we have the Dolphins in week 12. You obviously see the division games. The Bears, we get right into the division early on within week 5, the first 5 weeks, we got 3 division games already under our belt. We will also take on that to the NFC West. You can see we got the 49ers, Seahawks, Rams. 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals in there. So we get a rematch with the Cardinals we had last year. We ended up beating them week 1. We get a rematch with the Falcons and the Giants as well. Giants and Falcons both beat us, so we're looking for a little revenge on that as well. And then we finish up there week 16, 17 with the Packers and Bears on the road. You can see week 2, 3, 4, 5, we got home games. We got a nice little home streak right off the bat. We'll be twitching a lot, that's for sure. So we traveled to New England first, though. That's always going to be a tough game. They had a great offseason, a great draft, brought in a lot of talent. So we'll see what we can do against New England. And that's what we're going to jump to now. We got that box score against the Patriots here. You can see we ended up topping the Patriots 31-21. Tevin Coleman had a huge day for us running the ball. He had 2 touchdowns, almost 150 yards of rushing, and only on 17 carries. He broke a really long touchdown run for us, which kind of broke the game wide open. Stafford did what he had to do, threw for 168, 2 touchdowns. That interception, we just kind of threw it up before the half, and it got tipped up and picked. So, I mean, that's that. We did force Brady to throw 4 picks, so that was a big win for our defense. Jamal Agnew stepped in at corner and ended up getting an interception. So dating back to last year, in his last 5 games, Jamal Agnew has 6 interceptions, one in each of the last 5 games, and then 2 in the first game he actually played since jumping in the starting lineup. But New England, their new rookie wide receiver, Roland Mumphrey, ended up snagging a touchdown. 6'6", 231. He's a tough guy to beat. And then we faced our old buddy Marvin Jones, who caught 6 balls for 81 yards and a touchdown as well. But we were happy to slide out of here with a big win, get the season started out right. But we did suffer a few injuries. So first drive of the game, after he got his second drive of the game, after he caught his touchdown, wide receiver Jarvis Landry went down with injury, had to leave the game, but he's good. He'll be ready for week 2. He finished with 2 catches for 27 yards and a score. But you can look at our injury report here. Middle linebacker Jared Davis, abdominal tear. He'll be out for 4 weeks. That's a big loss. I said it earlier in the show. Heart and soul of our defense. It's gonna kill us. We got to find a replacement. We got a few in mind. We'll go over that in a little bit here. And then the rookie, the guy we're so excited about, first round pick Spencer Frazier. 6'3", 96 speed corner. We've been talking about him all show. He goes down with a slight shoulder tear, so he's out 2 weeks. So we're going to have to make do there. But those are 2 huge losses. 2 guys we were really excited about right off the bat. They went down kind of early in the game, and other guys stepped in and made plays, and I couldn't have asked for more from the guys who did step in. We'll go over the replacements for these guys right now, actually. So first off, we have sliding in at middle linebacker. So we got Eric Wilson. We talked about him. Wilson's going to slide in at the middle linebacker 1 position. He had 4 tackles and a pick in the week 1 game. So we're real happy with his the way he was playing. 86 speed, 90 acceleration, 85 pursuit, 76 play rec. We got to get that up a little bit. But Wilson will slide into middle linebacker 1, kind of undersized, 6'2", 225. But what he gave us week 1, we can't not play him. He's been playing real well. So we got him. But then just in case, since we do run that 3-4, we had a couple of rookies we were going to play. But we decided to go out and make a trade. We had excess on the defensive line. That's what the Titans wanted. So we went out and got the 26-year-old vet, Avery Williamson, 84 speed, I think it's 88 acceleration, another quick guy, another undersized, 6'1", 246. But look at the tackle, 92, 86 pursuit, 81 play rec. Williamson will fit in real nice for us as well. So we got Wilson and Williamson are going to step in and be that middle linebacker 1, middle linebacker 2 until Jared Davis gets back. We might slide Williamson to an outside linebacker position or put him in on passing downs when Davis comes back. But it's always nice to have depth, especially when we gave up something we had excess of. As far as Spencer Frazier goes at corner, we got Jamal Agnew stepping in. So he was last year's rookie out of San Diego, 5'10", 185, 23 years old. You see the speed, you see the acceleration, you see the agility, zone coverages, 78, man 81. Agnew's been awesome for us. The 70, don't be fooled by the 74 overall, because he started last year at a 68 overall, and I mean, look at what we built him up to already. So Agnew, real excited. He steps right in where he left off. He was pretty bummed when we did draft the corner in the first round, because he does have to slide to that nickel. But look, he could come out and show us that he deserves to be an outside corner. Who knows? But before we get going here, let's just go ahead and take one last look at the schedule, kind of see our upcoming games here. So next week, we are, like we said, we have 2 back-to-back division games at home. We're going to take the Bears and the Vikings on. We will have highlights of those games for you guys. Like I said, this was just going to be a little longer show. Didn't want to talk the entire time. But you can see the rest of the schedule there. We're sitting at 1-0. We're feeling good. No long-term injuries, knock on wood, but we do have some big ones, so hopefully our replacements can fill in, and we will be good to go for week 2. Thank you guys for listening. As always, I'm Herman Moore. I'm real excited for this year of XCFL football. Hopefully our Detroit Lions get back into the playoffs and can make some stuff happen. But thank you guys for listening. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have highlights, and we'll kind of go over how our backups did, how the rookies played. But all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Herman Moore. I am out of here.